morning, chat. Good morning, everyone. You only said Holland today, no Messi. Funny. Good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning. Let me just start the Zoom up real quick. Discord should be good. Everybody, maybe B911 motor started 67 live MH. Congrats to Spain. W. Finally, World Cup's over. I can finally the World Cup's finally over, bro. That felt the longest tournament ever. I can actually watch hockey. We're actually focused on the Leafs now. Leaf season approaching. Hold on, let me just see. Are we? Alright, we're good. We are good. Stop the music. No, sir. No music stoppage. No stoppage. But chat, today is a brand new week here. Yeah, but we have we got 10 days left in the month until August basically, and we're basically 1 month down in quarter 3. All right, so 20 days in quarter 3. You know, started off kind of slow. I think last week brought a lot of volume though. So yeah, let's see if that could continue on towards into this week. What's up, Wagman? But yeah, let's see if that could continue on to this week, and then maybe we'll have some good bumps to end the month off, you know. But this week there is not a lot of news going on, chat. There is maybe some CAD news. I mean, in terms of USD news, nothing today. Or CB leading index at 10 a.m. Yellow folders, and I think that is all. Yellow folders again on Wednesday, Thursday. I guess unemployment claims, that might be your most volatile one. And then on Friday, just a bunch of yellow folders there. So yeah, not much going on, but who knows, maybe price action will take over. But yeah, this is my first time looking at this since the week started, so let's see where we're at. Looks like we're kind of still in the range. I was hoping you'll have some movement. All right, damn, please don't tell me chat's gonna be one of these Mondays again, man. Every Monday so far, the last couple weeks have been just so slow. All right, let's see. So yeah, it looks like we are. I'm a little Okay, so weekly close bearish, right? We are at the bottom of that range on the weekly, so still here. And then your top of the weekly range is roughly here, right? I mean, that's your daily ranges as well, so let's might as well drop down to a daily here. But yeah, weekly close bearish, you know, it's not bad. It didn't close below anything in the range though, not below, not above anything, just nothing really changed last week. It's much better, I guess, in terms of it closed below here, right? Because last week's candle closed holding that zone, right? It was still in this area, so at least it closed outside of this area. Now, does that lead to a break? I don't know, because you're still holding this zone here, right? So as long as that's still being held down there at 3900, any given point you can just reject still, because this is just the range you're in, right? Between 4300 and 3900. So that is that for the weekly. That closure, better than nothing. Daily candle close, like, how did the daily close there? Like weak bullish, right? Weak bullish. It's not bad in terms of structure, because in terms of structure, it looks like this is like still being held here. All these lower highs to the left here, right? Still being held, which means that you can just continue coming down the same way. But nothing crazy, nothing breaking this cycle, nothing breaking this mechanic of movement, right? It's just like the same constant mechanic, which is just like lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and just lower highs, right? So to break the cycle, you actually need to like drive down. Like, so let's say you got this is your drive down, right? This is like your drive down, and then you got a pullback, right? So yellow zones, pink zones, drive down, yellow, just to reference the colors really here, but drive down right here, and then you got a pullback, and then you got drive down, right? And then you got a pullback. So nothing like crazy. It's just drive, pullback, drive, pullback. What needs to happen for volume is you need like a drive, like you need two yellows back to back, right? So that's why I'm drawing out in colors, just to show that. But if you get a drive, you know, that's actually going to break this cycle, and you will have something obviously significant that will actually have an impact on price that could lead to better direction, more direction in general, right? Because this is coming down, like directionally it's sort of still bearish, but in terms of like confirming that this is continuing down, there's no confirmation of that. One, because you're still holding support, and two, because you're lacking volume, right, at those zones there. So this is what's going to be required until that actually picks up, and until that has a different, like, it makes a difference in price. But yeah, that's kind of where you are at on the daily, right? Just so you're in that constant mechanic cycle, whatever it is, right? Just nothing different, same thing the last couple of weeks here to start July off. But in terms of the daily zones here, like, this is what you want to see being tapped, which hasn't been tapped yet, right? We're eyeing this for almost 3 weeks now, going to a third week of looking at the zone at 38.74, right? Just the idea that this right here, these lows right here, is the middle of nowhere. But what that means is you're not really filling the range. The range fills down at 38.74. So this is your resistance up here on a daily. This is your daily support, right? This is your overall daily range right here, right? Between these zones and this zone. You see how, like, in the range here, there's a rejection. There has been lots of rejections. There's been some rejections here, 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 and here, right? But you haven't filled it yet, right? It's kind of like rejecting. This is why I call it the middle of nowhere. It's like, it's not really anything significant rejecting off. It's like minor zone, sure, but like, you know, the bottom of like the overall range is down here. So you're using the higher time frame to like establish that range, right? It helps you understand like where the bottom of it is. And if it's here and you haven't tapped it yet, that likely is required, because no matter if you're like bullish or if you are bearish, you're gonna need to fill the ranges first. Because what happens after so let's say you were driving, right? Like, let's say all of this, like all these moves come from, like, I don't want to move it up here. Actually, let's just show it. But look, you see how you've been driving, like driving down, right? Like after a drive, usually what occurs, you'll start to range. But you can't range until you actually tap the bottom of the ranges, right? A range is like more so like, I know this is ranging the last couple of days here. If you look at it, like this has been kind of ranging here, but in terms of like this overall zone, the range that you want to see is more so of like this, between like 4,400 and 3,900, right? In the past, this lasted maybe, it wasn't too bad. It was like really only one drive down and a continuation back up after that. But it was 80 days, like 70 to 80 days, right? It's been maybe like, since you came back into the range here, maybe like 40 days, right? So like, is this the area where you are likely to range at? Yes, right? Has it started ranging yet though? I wouldn't say so. I think the ranges could be wider, right? I think you were grabbing liquidity though. I think like this could be something. This could lead to something like, maybe like if this is a range right here, right? This any moves down, let's say, like it could lead to a fake out, right? On a small time frame, like if you look at it from this yellow range standpoint. But if you look at it from the overall, it's like nothing really significant is happening, even if you do come down and break the lows. So you fill in the range there, you tap into 3,800, won't do anything significant. It's still going to be within those areas. So going back to what I was saying, like whether you are like bullish or bearish on gold, you need to start ranging. And then after a range comes liquidity. So let's say like you do come down towards the bottom of the range, right? Let's say you fill it. And then let's say you reject. All right, after this, it's like, is this directional? No, it's still between 4,400 and 3,900. So what needs to occur next before you actually start breaking out? Liquidity, right? So how do you print liquidity, and where to? We don't know, or nor do we need to focus on where it's going to break out to, because it's going to give you, price will give you that answer, right? So whether if you like tap the top, the breakout side above the ranges before breaking back into the ranges to continue down, right? Any break, in this case it broke the highs, that'll be fine. That'll lead to more information and then more direction. Now what if you break and hold, right? If you break and hold, okay, let's go back real quick. So there's two scenarios for a bullish situation, right? Or for a break of the upside. The first situation is you break out and let's do this actually. You range and then you break out and you pull back, you hold. If you pull back after breaking out and you hold, okay, there's a high chance this could likely continue, because now you're making higher lows and you're holding those zones, right? But instead, let's say you fake back into the range, right? Either way, you're still breaking outside this yellow box. And as long as you break out that yellow box, it's going to lead to more information, because then now it could lead to like fake outs, right? You won't really know until it actually comes down towards below here, continues, but it's going to lead to volume in general. Otherwise, it's just going to range. And it hasn't started ranging yet. Remember that, right? And then the other option is you break down first, right? Which is a possibility too. You break down first and then you pull back, hold. If it re-breaks the lows again, then this right here is your lower high. That's your confirmation that it's going to continue down. All right, this is more of like a monthly standpoint. Just remember that. Or the other option is you fake back into the range here and then you continue back up, right? And then you'll figure out if it's a fake out as you break above here, and then that's continuation. But either way, like it's gonna need to break out one end first. But before breaking out of one end to print direction, you need to fill the ranges. So that's why like this is like our sole focus the last 3 weeks. Not like it needs to happen, but that'll be over with. And then from here on out, it's like, who knows? Maybe it won't start ranging, right? But at least it's gonna fill the bottom of the range that could lead to continuation. At least if it doesn't start ranging, it's gonna break below. If it does start ranging, then you'll see a rejection, because this is an area where it could reject that. It could even break below, fake out and then reject back to the top of the range, right? Again, we won't find out until it actually breaks above 4,400 whether it's going to be bullish or not, because if it fakes out, it can also still be a start of a range, right? Maybe you can just extend the ranges. So instead of like having it from here to here, you can just kind of like move it down towards here, wherever the low is, right? Because is it really a fake out, or is it just an extension of a range? And then this is just your overall ranges in general, right? Because you're still in that area. It's nothing impactful happening yet, right? But this is like what I mean by like we utilize all time frames, because once you can like establish, okay, once you could like establish hello, why is Meta Horizon launching? Once you could like establish like what ranges we're in on a higher time frame, it kind of helps you like break down the idea more and more, right? So like starting off like this is like all monthly stuff, like weekly stuff, daily stuff, right? So as you continue to drop down now to let's mark these zones up real quick. So yeah, I think we have it already, right? No, I'm missing this resistance up here. We have that, and then we got this. All right, so now you're kind of sitting here, right? We delete all of this. We don't need this no more. But like once you understand that, you can see like going back to just the main idea, you're missing this area down here, right? So then what you could do is you can drop down to the small time from now, and then you can see like now looking at the small time from the 4, you can see like more structure, right? Because you see more candles, more detail now. On the 4, you can see like, again, these are just lower highs still. So that isn't being broken yet, which means that can just continue, right? That can just continue that same movement where it's constant drive, pullback, drive, pullback, drive, pullback, drive, pullback, drive, pullback, drive, pullback, drives, right? It could do that all the way down towards 38.74. If it does do that, then again, that's still no volume, which means that this move could still be corrected. Just like leave the idea open in your mind, you know, because if it comes down slow, it can be a 1-2 pop up. And if you're nearing like a heavy zone at 38.75, could 38.75 be a daily zone that rejects? Could be, especially if this is a very slow move down, right? So just leave it open in your head. So we have that. We understand that on the 4. We do have on the 4 as well, like these areas down here, right? Like the initial areas that you were like rejecting off of. So like for instance, 39.80, 39.60, right? These are the areas that you've been struggling to break. So if you do come down towards that daily zone, that daily range fill, or that bomb to range fill, right? What needs to happen here, right? You probably want to see like closures below, right? But not just closures below, because it can lead to fake outs. It can kind of do what it did here, right? But if it closes below and then it starts to like create structure, let's say it like pulls back, holds these zones here, right? And it continues to just break the lows. After like those pullbacks, you can start looking for sells, right? So more so below like 39.20, 38.74, but you need that pullback. Otherwise, like anything that breaks out here like this could just lead to a fake out, right? So then you can just kind of like pop back into the range. And if you pop back into the range, then it's a fake out, right? Or at least though, there might be more drawdown, because they can still come down too. It doesn't always mean a fake out. It can come up, break the highs, and still continue down, right? But like the main concept is like you want to wait for a fake out or a pullback after breaking out below like 39.60 and such, right? So we could get continuation of sells if that were to happen. The other option is we can also get like if you were to, let's say now, instead of coming down right now, right, and then pulling back continuation, and we get sells below here, we can also, if this doesn't come down now and this comes up, breaks the highs, right, let's say it comes up, taps into these zones here, we get wick entry sells likely. But if we don't get the wick entry sells, could we also get sells before the yellow line, before these areas here. We could, right? Because this would if it comes up first, it could be lower highs, it can be liquidity still. I know it's breaking structure for the first time as well, but that's even better. If it's the first time you're breaking structure, there's a high chance that you're not just gonna rip up right away, right? Even if you break structure for the first time, it won't just go up like this. It's gonna likely create some higher lows before continuing up, right? So that's why like the idea of like taking wick entry sells won't be too bad of an idea, or it'll be a good idea, because this is going to be the first time you're breaking structure, which means that like you are likely to get some type of higher lows. The only hard part is like trying to figure out where that zone will be for the wick entries. But if I'm looking at price here, I'm looking at probably like these areas here, some reaction zones here, reaction zones here, reaction zones there, some reactions here, in these zones, right? So this is a pretty like decent area between like 4100 4120 to look for wick entry sells at if this situation goes up first, if price goes up first like this, right? And then very key how it goes up too. You don't want to see a pullback, but if it does go up first, wick entry sells. If you can't get the wick entry sells, let's say we miss it, let's say, you know, instead of like tapping the yellow line and we have wick entry sell ideas there, it comes up towards like here, right? So we're short by like, let's say 20 pips, 200 pips, whatever it is here. Wait, how far is this? Yeah, like 200 pips. Let's say we're short by 200 pips or something, right? Because it doesn't have to come off of here. It can also come off of like here and such, right? Let's say it goes off of there and we missed the wick entry sells. We'll just wait for price to make its way back down to break the lows, right? Let's say this is the low. We'll wait for pullbacks, and then as it re-breaks those lows, we'll look for a continuation. But we need that. We need those pullbacks very key, because if you try to take sells here, it can literally still be a higher low to continue up, right? Because this is your initial low, and it won't be until you actually break that low down here that could lead to continuation. Otherwise, like anything here could be a higher low, right? So that's why like waiting for that pullback will help with that idea, because it's going to be the lower high for you. So as you come back down to re-break, that's your continuation now. All right, so pretty straightforward so far. You got one idea, wick entry sells, right? 4100, 4200. Let me just mark that up as well. Looking at around like here, right? And then your next zone is going to be continuation of sells, which is below the yellow line, right? That's if you were to break down first. You're going to have to watch this like drive down at least another like 750, maybe 600, right? But the idea is you want to see it drop down, and then you want to see a pullback, right? So then once you actually get that pullback like this, as it re-breaks, that's your continuation of sells. And then you're looking for sells like below 3920, 3900, down towards like 3874. All right. And then, yeah. The other option is also the wick entries. All right. So wick entries, or if we miss that, we can also get sells coming down before the yellow line if there is structure here. And then the other option is if it just comes down without a top wick, let's say from here, we need to see a pullback. Right, so either way, we gotta wait for something. We gotta wait for pullbacks. We gotta wait for a move up. We gotta wait for something, regardless of like whatever we're looking for today. But like, it's good because that will hopefully bring in some volume. Otherwise, like it's, you know, kind of not really doing much here, right? Like since Asian opening yesterday, Asian opening is around here. You maybe move like 300 pips total, like highs and lows, and then you're kind of just sitting in the range, right? So nothing like significant, nothing like impactful. Nothing crazy happening yet. And I'm not even sure what this is too. Like these could be seen as like higher lows as well. I know this is like small time frames, but could be seen as higher lows. But I think in general, like it's hard to decipher like what's higher lows if you're just sitting in this range. Like I'll just mark it up as a range if you keep it simple, because it can mean anything. Like this can just be the top of the range that you tapped here, and this can just come back down, right? And this is just an overall range. Right, so I wouldn't say it's too the structure is really there yet as well. But yeah, either way, you gotta weigh the wick entry sells. How much is that? Like 800. I think the wick entry sells would be the least complicated move that needs to happen because it's just gonna be a drive up. But the hard part about that is sit out for like 800 pips, right? Which isn't too hard. You just can't put your hands up for 800 pips. And then the continuation below here, right? That's gonna be 600 pips as a move down, and then you need pullbacks and then you need continuation, and then that's pretty much it. That is pretty much what I'm waiting for today, chat. So I have nothing in between as of right now. Maybe if we have more like volume. Oh, 80,000 trades online. Maybe if we have volume, we could get more information and add more zones and such. But I think for now, it's pretty much it. That is, my God. All right. Yeah. That's how I plan my day. And then after that, I'm just like kind of waiting for those moves to occur. All right. Our last trades were like Thursday, so it wasn't too long ago. It's Monday, and we need this volume. 8:30 though. How a 30-minute count closed? Bearish, right in the range. Yeah, so nothing like impactful. Was that a 4-hour leg maybe? In 30 minutes, could be a 4-hour leg closure. But yeah, let's keep these zones here. Let's do. I also got to add the 4-hour zones as well. All right, so we'll do 43.73. $43.73. What else did I got? 48.74. And then 41.01. 39.39. All right, chat. Yeah, those are our zones today. For now, we just need movement. Like I think once you start like, if you can start breaking out of this range, I'll say this is like your blue range today. So you need at least this to break out if you're gonna get some type of volume today. And this range here is 860 in total. But again, I think once you break out of this, like that's when you'll get like much better volume or much better information, at least. Then maybe we can add zones, right? Well, when we actually break out, we'll actually see, okay, is it gonna break out and drive back into the range? Is it gonna break out and hold? Is it gonna create structure? Right now, we'll give you more like volume, which will give you more ideas. No buys. Buys won't be until no buys are there. I just forgot to mention. I think buys are more like about 4,200. Same as like the last 2 weeks, right? I think I've been repeating 4,200, just wanting that to break for like the like more so above here, like 42, 43, 42. There's a leg candle right here, so more so like 42.60, but above 4,200 though, at least. So whenever that decides to break out, but yeah, it's far. That's still far as well, right? That's like at least another 2,000 bips. Is that 760 on stream only? Yep. That is 7660 on stream. I think maybe like, where is it? Maybe like 17 pips of that is like not on stream. Like 19 pips of that is not on stream. So this one and this one. But the rest, yeah, it's all basically all on stream. This year on stream we've done like, what was our percentage? 54% on stream. No, less, 30. I think 50 was just from when I started calculating the percentages, but I think it's around 30 since March. So I came back in March, around there. Since like here, let's say March 13, 32% on stream. But yeah, buys are good too. It's just gonna be a little further. What's up, Pencil? Yeah, it seems like the same old Monday though, huh? Same as last week. This is decent though. What time did this start moving? 8? On the 5, when was this drop? 7:30. Like, this is not bad. This is 300 pips. This is not the worst, you know. I think last Monday was a bit slower start. Did we get a trade last Monday? Last Monday was it 7:14? Right? There was a trade Monday, right? We got that drawdown trade. Monday was 13. Or no, Tuesday we had that drawdown trade. Last Tuesday, the 14th. Is that MM? I recognize that display picture. Someone else. You have a leg count out here too in the 4. Kinda a doji-ish. What's up, Bryce? What's up, Cookie? Your price is edging your BE multiple times. I usually I usually just wait. I usually just wait until it taps. Like, it depends how near, you know. But usually I'll wait, because if I chose that zone, like if it's like a support, you know, and it hasn't tapped it yet, like let's say we took a sell and we have like a B zone like here, right? I mean, you're basing it off of like something, right? So this support, this, and this. So usually I'll let it run. So all of these times it was able to tap it. So I'm like, why wouldn't it be able to tap it this time around? So that's like the point behind the BE zones. But usually when it edges the BE, we'll usually go and draw down. But usually I let it run. I think last year, I don't know, maybe last year was like a little more volatile, but last year even our trail stops weren't as aggressive. So we had like more runners. Draw on for 2 hours. What are you in cells? There's some nice leg counts if you're in cells though. Right here. Might get some body reactions here, but that leg kind of fills all the way down towards here. Nasdaq. What's up, 311? $15 feels nice to grab. I want this daily to flip instead. Where's the daily flip? Oh, right there. Yeah, just sitting in this range. Why not you say this sentence these days before coming up and needs to grab liquidity for monthly? Why not you say the sentence these days before coming up needs to grab liquidity for monthly? Maybe because we're not always in that situation. It depends. It depends, like on the market cycle. I think for the last 3 weeks I've been saying the same sentence. It's just like, you're like in the month, you're in a range on the higher time frame in terms of market cycles. So I'm expecting like the bottom of the range to get filled. So like, you probably won't hear me stop saying that until like this range decides to break out, right between like 4,300 and 3,800. So once that breaks out, or like even like breaking above like 4,200 or something, you know, we'll have like a different analysis going on into the day. But for the last like 2.5 weeks, it's been the same repeated like analysis, just because that's where we're at, right? But when that changes, you know, the way I approach it would change too. But yeah, before company needs to grab liquidity, that sounds more of like after a range, right? Like after a range like this, which is basically what this is, to be honest. Like before coming up needs to grab liquidity, like a move down would be liquidity, right? So that's also your range fill. So yeah, I am saying that, maybe like not directly, but that's kind of what that is as well. If this is like a minor range on the 4 and you break out for the first time, anything back into the range would be a fake out. Now it's just a matter of you can come back above like 4,300, right? So on a higher time frame, yeah, like that's there for sure. What up, futures? What up, Bimsum? But again, market cycles, right? Like you don't want to like go into like the day with like, you don't want to go into a day with like thinking, or like into like a certain market condition thinking what's gonna happen. Like we want to read it for what it is, all right? And this is just kind of where we are. $830 pip range, chat. It's gonna be a while. We're get some movement here, man. The 10 minutes until a 4-hour close, though. So we'll see how the 4-hour closes. Looks like it might be closed in leg candle, so maybe it could lead to something. Leg candle closure. The leg candle. BTC. This is so slow. Come on, go do something, bro. Hi, I'm new here. Are you in the trade? No, I'm not in the trade. I'm waiting. We got a lot to wait for. But that is what we're doing right now. No trades right now. I do gotta upgrade this, update this record though. Aaron Watkins Jr. Maybe we reject 4,000, maybe. Spreads are not bad though. Got a little better throughout the session here, chat. Much better than how it started today. I think on the 3rd minute earlier it was, like, it was a little more visible. Now it's a little more invisible. Screenshot. I don't know. I get like a lot of DMs, maybe. Kyle. Do you still trade Asian session? Wait, Kyle, I think I saw it. Yeah. Let's see. Last week, right? I mean, yeah, I see it. Yeah, you just sent me a bunch of positions and asked me what I think. Like, you closed the positions already. What am I supposed to say? Not good? It's good. Do you still trade the Asian session? Yeah, we do, but yeah, I do. Not Sundays though. Monday to Thursday, Asian session. But yeah, I started trading Asian again like Q3. So like start of July. We've only really had like maybe, I don't think we had an Asian session trade. Yeah, we had like late New York session trades, but not really Asian. Just because it hasn't really been moving as consistent for Asian. So yeah, just waiting for like, I think this range to kind of break out and start moving, because it's been here the last 3 weeks or so. So I'm assuming that's what's holding it up. But yeah, we'll have more opportunities to trade Asian. I'll be on, like usually when there's volume, I'll be on for the session. So tonight, if there's volume, I'll be around. But if there's not, then like for instance, like if Asian was like this for New York right now, I wouldn't be on. If it's just doing what gold is doing right now, I wouldn't be on for this because there's just no volume. But then once it picks up, usually my indicators would be like once it breaks aside these ranges, right? That's when I'll start locking it in. There's a 4 leg candle right here, guys. On the 4 close, not bad. Not bad for closure. Asian session recorded? No, there's not. It's in the signals are recorded though. Like whatever I call out, will be whatever I trade in this account chat will be called it in the signal chat, regardless if it's New York session Asian. It's just that Asian, I'm not streaming it for YouTube, right? But it's gonna be called in the group. Whatever I take here on this account, all my trades have been like recorded in that group. But no, I won't be like live streaming it if that's what you're asking. Maybe every now and then, but we'll see. Just purely NY for live streaming. What are you waiting for above? I'm waiting for just a breakout, honestly. Like anything breaking outside of this blue box would be nice, you know, for volume. So once that breaks out, I think we'll get a pickup in volume or like some type of significance in price. Because I don't think like even like coming down here. There's an invisible candle here, by the way, but I don't think anything that will happen in this area will be significant for like indications of what's gonna happen, where it's gonna go. Because you can only move so much in the range, and you've already moved quite a bit in the range, right? You've had like a move down, break of lows, a little bit of range here. You know, some structure, break the lows again, broke the highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So it is like counter printing higher lows here. But you need to kind of break this in order to give you some type of continuation here, right? So then I'm hoping if you do break out above, that's gonna be continuation, and then that could lead to now fake outs back into the range. It can lead to wick entry sells that we can get, right? We had wick entry sells up at 4101, so that's one of the ideas above. And just more information in general, like even if you can't come up above like 24100, even like breaking out will give us some information, because then it can lead to a fake out or something. But like when you're in the range, it can't lead you to anything. It's just gonna lead you to a range and continuous like struggle, right? And you don't want to trade when price is struggling like this. Even like a break downside first, it doesn't need to break up, right? It can break out to a downside first too. And if it does, you know, I want to see like some pullbacks. And then as it continues to re-break the lows of here, we can start looking for sells. Right? But anything breaking up or down would be good regardless. Direction don't really matter too much in the ranges. But that's like the hard part, right, chat? Like just waiting, like looking at this range and being like, damn, we really gotta wait. In this case, 800 pips for some type of volume. Yeah, no, not for a trade, but it could lead to something for sure, for sure. If this is invisible though, this didn't really break the lows first then, which means that something's still missing there, which means that you can get a high chance to get a fake out. If this is your invisible candle, you can block that out, right? You can see like the structure here are still being held. There was no like breakout lows or anything. So I wonder if you can still get that push down. Like the same thing that we're looking for on the daily is the same thing we can look for in the 1 hour time frame, right? If this rejected the middle of nowhere and the bottom of the range is more so of like 39, are we still missing that bottom wick coming down towards there? Because that's what we're looking for on the daily anyways, right? Towards 38.74 down here. So it's the same thing on a different time frame. So any breakout above, I wonder if that could lead to a fake out. We're not just gonna assume it will be a fake out, right? But if it breaks up and then it starts shifting back into the range and creating some structure, we can then look for ideas like more so down here. And if this is an invisible candle, then this won't really matter too much, right? We can look to target 39, and there won't be no struggles there. A lot you can do once you move. Not much you can do now. Let's see, 4 close, leg candle. Opening didn't really do too much yet. Small top wick, that's really it though. You got 2 leg candles, so you have one right here, the bearish one, and you got the bullish one down here. So either end can literally get filled. And you're in a range, right? So either end getting filled won't really mean much anyways. But you can see it's just in the ranges, in that blue zone, either way. How much is this? This is 800 pips. How much is the 4? 1900. No, 2000 pips for the bullish leg candle, and then the bearish one is 2000 pips as well, or 200 pips, both ends. Buy or sell. Is this a glitch? Can we expect a push up to 40.30 for buying? I'm actually not too sure. I have this range from like 40.50 to 39.64, so I'm waiting for this range to break out. I don't really have any like insight within that range. I need that range to break out in order to get my positions. I don't know because at the same time, it can also be, these can also be higher lows that are holding, right? But then again, like you're also still missing like bottom wicks here if that's an invisible candle on the 4 or on the 1, right? So at any given point, that can still be broken. Like this structure, all of this could still be broken at the same given time. You came up tap the highs already. So I don't have anything in this range for a reason, because I can't make out what's gonna happen. But once you actually do break out this blue range, it's gonna lead to fake outs or continuation. So it can lead to continuation up, or it can lead to fake outs, but you'll get movement then. So I don't consider anything in this blue range to be like movement, because for me it's like a confirmation of what's gonna happen next. So that's what I mean by like I don't know what's going on, because I'm waiting. That blue range, I'm just waiting. It's a big range too. It's an 800 pip range, right? So tradable for sure, but I need this to kind of break out for something. So if you're looking for buys, you know, take your positions. If you're looking for sells, take your positions. But I'm waiting until you break out of this, or until you get some more structure or something. What's up, the week? Scotland. Damn, you just predicted in the chat, huh? Is it 15 11? The 4 hours 11. The 4 hours 11. The 15. This one? I think the bearish one. Yeah, this is a bearish one here. So you already got the body reaction here. So if you re-break the high, how much is that left? Like 17 pips? That'll be a lay, yeah. Is it true that every man have their liquidity sweep? What? What that mean? You just ask if every man gets their girl stolen? You watched the finals yesterday? Yeah, I watched it. You guys watch it? I mean, the whole world watched it. It was bro, I swear, bro. I was watching the game. I was like, damn, did Argentina get a shot on net? Like, and then at the end it showed like their total attempts. It was like 20 to Spain and like 0 to Argentina, and I was like, holy fuck. Like, damn. Like 0 attempts. Cause I don't even know if I knew how the Spain goal even looked. They didn't show the Spain goalie once during the game. They were just fucking fighting the Spain players after too. Like right after. I feel like a long tournament, huh? I think they're looking to extend it to like what's next, like 60 teams or something, or 50 teams next tournament. That's gonna be a one long tournament. And Spain's mad young too. They might get back to back. Is this his last? Who, Messi? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so though. How old is he? 39? He's gonna be 43. I think he can do something at 43. I think he'll play the next World Cup. Depends. Is Argentina like they look mad old? Not mad old, but like they look much older than like they look like a little past prime, no? Like 2022 is prime. I wanted to see Mbappe though, bro. That England game was crazy too. The England and France game. What's up, Matt? That was probably the best game though. Even though no one cared for that game, I think that was like, that looked like the most entertaining game. I saw pieces of it. Just like the chillest game. That's how it's supposed to be, bro. When they play like that, shit. If the finals were played like that, where it was like just non-defensive, just straight offense, like that would be cinema. Cinema finals. Yeah. Nothing to lose. Fuck, France and England, the finals would have been cinema though. No, not how great the setup is, but how big my stops are. So it's like percentage risk. It's like a fixed lot percentage risk. So there's a fixed lot and how max I go, and then there's a percentage risk after that based off of how big my stops are. But I never adjusted off of like how great the setup is because all the setups are great. Not like, oh, like all my setups are great, but more of like I'm only taking plays in my playbook. So I treat them all the same like fairness. There's no like one's better than the other. And that's the way I approach my playbook. I don't have like different tiers for like, you know, this setup versus that setup. It's more of like, if it's in my playbook, it's going to be the same fairness on all the setups. If it's not good, it's not good. If it's good, it's good. Right? Like if it's not good, I'll remove it from my playbook. If it's a good setup, I'll leave it. Right? But I don't like adjust it based off what's better or what's worse. Because I don't think you should look at trading like that. Like this setup's better than that setup. Like, if it's not a good setup, why would you even take it? Or like worst case, like why would you take it with a smaller lot size? You know how sometimes like that's a thing. Oh yeah, this setup's not bad, but let me do small risk. Like, why would you even want to like take a lower probability risk with a smaller lot size, right? Just wait for your setup. But yeah, I don't see it like that. It's fair, even game. Hey, your leg candle getting filled now on that 15. Who asked about the 15 leg candle earlier? But once you break the high, it should get filled. Now that the finals over though, I wonder what LeBron's gonna go. I think he was waiting for that to be over, right? Now it's gonna be the decision. What's that candlestick pattern called again? The leg candle, LE candle, leg candle, the candle. I still need to make a video on it. I'll make one. I'll try to make one this week. Leg candle's pretty cool, yeah. I don't take all of them though. Like every time I see that pattern, it needs to align with like the rest of my analysis, but you get them all the time, right? You get them on the minute, on the 5, on the 15, all the time. So like whether like the next question becomes, okay, well, what time frame do you look for it on, right? So it's like if my analysis aligns with, let's say, like for instance, right now we have a 4-hour leg candle. Why I take the 4-hour leg candle like where it is right now? No. But like if you, let's say, come down here and then you create some structure back up, as you come up towards the leg candle, would I look to take the leg candle fill now? Yeah. Because now you actually have liquidity. So I need to make sure everything else around it aligns too. Because if you just go ahead and see a leg candle and take it every time you see one, it's like looking for a gap fill after the weekend. The market opened with the gap. Gap must get filled. Man, that gap from last week hasn't been filled yet. And then all of a sudden now you're stuck in a trade. You know what I mean? Like you're just stuck in a position that you got in just because you thought that it was gonna fill. Like that's just a thought. It's not actually what's being printed on the charts. You want to make sure things actually align, right? I think even for this gap fill that happened last Sunday, what I usually would do is just draw it in. It's just a clean traffic candle. It's a bearish one. So you did come up. You had this push up, but then what were we waiting for on that Monday, right? Was it a Monday or a Tuesday? We waited for price to pull back. And then once you get a pullback, as you continue to re-break the highs, you can start looking towards that. But then, you know, this part of it never happened, which is a very key part. So then we never got the idea to get the gap fill, which was up here at like 41.20, right? But now that you've actually came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, came up, and now you're creating a bit of structure. If you were to come back up above 4100, there's a high chance that this is like gonna break. If you break, then that's your gap fill now, because now you actually have all of this like structure that was being printed, right? So, but like you don't want to just see like a leg count and be like, oh yeah, there's a leg count like up here, let's take a buy. Like, because what does, you know, price being down here have to do with that 15 leg candle? That's also important to understand when taking them. Same goes of like anything though, like wick fills, gap fills, leg candles, right? You need things around it to align as well. You don't want to just blindly take them, because there's tons of the wick fills as well, right? Candles that aren't leg candles, like this is a wick fill right here. But you won't know if this will get filled until you actually start breaking above here, which is also a resistance here. And then if you mark this up right here, this is also a leg candle body in the 4, or at least near, right? So you're still waiting for that structure to be print anyways. Yeah, body reaction is just like, so let's say there's on the 4-hour candle, there's a leg candle right here. When you fill it, this is a resistance, right? This is the body area right there, like the opening. So when you look for a leg candle, you need structure. It's just structure. If you remove the idea of a leg candle, it's just structure. So that's why it's structure, plus you're looking for that wick fill, right? But when you, let's say you come up towards the body, you'll get a reaction, right? And then like you don't really lock into that leg candle fill until you actually reject. So like, because it can come down and never come back up again, or at least not come up to next week or next month or tomorrow, right? Or whenever. But once you actually do reject, let's say you come up, reject out the body, you come down, you flip, right? As you come up to re-break, that's when you want to start locking it in, because as you're re-breaking that high now all that needs to happen is you need to pull back and hold. If you can pull back and hold that body area, which is here, then as you re-break this initial high that you made, that's your continuation. As it re-breaks, that's going to be your buy stop, or like your, you know, market X above those highs. And then you're looking for the leg candle fill. But you need this structure. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you remove the idea of like the leg candle, it's just structure. But this is what I wait for whenever you have a leg candle. That type of structure. Because all that is just like a break, or a tap, a rejection, a break of the highs, a pullback, right? It's just like higher lows, really. That's all that is. Let's see. Rejecting. Still ranging here. How long was this range for? Since 8. For an hour and a half of range. NYSE open here, so maybe this will bring in some volume. This looks like it's breaking. First 2 minutes in. Already 60 pips. It's not bad. True. What's that, YGM? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? F1? Oh yeah, I watched a bit of that too. F1? And Max came in third. That's all I needed to see. I missed the beginning though. I still haven't watched that crash or whatever. What happened to Russell? I don't even know. Was it a crash or something? I forgot about. I haven't really been paying too much attention this year. Lewis clip is rear. That's what happened on the start of the race? Fuck, old teammates. And I missed the start. I started watching like maybe lap 7. But Kimmy won though. That'll be Kimmy. I'm just waiting for the Leafs, honestly, bro. Like, fuck, I'm so excited for this season. That's all I'm waiting for. That is that sport. Not even that sport, that team. I don't even watch hockey. I just watch the Leafs. But hockey's got a mix of like every sport though. It's got a mix of like soccer or football. It's got a mix of like boxing. It's got a mix of football, a mix of basketball. It's got like everything really. The only thing it doesn't have is maybe swimming, but you're on the ice, so kind of close to water. It's got a mix of everything though. Charles podium. What did Hamilton get a 5-second penalty for? I missed that part. Like speeding on the pit lane? Or exit or something like that? Oh, it's a George incident. I thought you said I got laid off from job today because you used AI. I'm like, what? You got laid off because of AI. Wait, where's the next race next weekend? Hungary? Oh, I actually like that map. Hungary. It's actually a decent map. It's short though, no? How it goes. What's up, Macy? Happy Monday. Okay, just sell area. I got 4,100. 4,100. Maybe it could be lower. Depends. Could be lower. Let's see. Because you're coming up. If it comes up from here, it's 4,100 and 4,009. I have 4,100 from as the original area, but it could also be maybe here. 46.6 could even be doable. I gotta see how it comes up though. 46 is be much closer though. It's like 500 pips instead of that we gotta wait instead of 800. But there's also reaction zones there as well, so could also be an area that you can react at. It's after, I think after the lecandle at least though. You want that to be over with, right? But yeah, it's could be a 46, 470, 463, 466 in those areas. I think that's the daily highs. Not bad. 473. What a slow Monday. Slow Monday. What's up, Jordy? Brutal. This thing is just sitting here. Who knows, chat? Maybe it'll be in this range for like a year. It's very tradable. If it is in the range for a year, it's still a 5,000 pip range, right? But it's possible. It is possible for the rest of the year. It could be in. Like it's a possibility. I wouldn't like really be surprised. But it's a tradable range though. It's a 5,000 pip range. But price doesn't always continue, especially on a higher time frame. But we haven't had a bullish candle since like what? February this year? Actually, did we take any 15 closed there. Cinema day today, man. 15 closed bullish. Weak bullish. It filled that leg candle at least. So this one's over with on the 15. But yeah, nothing significant still. Same. Nothing crazy. Nothing breaking anything. Nothing breaking structure. Closures. Nothing indicating in volume. Just a little more weight in chat. 10 hour. Not 10 hour. 10 a.m. closure in about 13 minutes here. Could close weak bullish. But again, I don't think that's anything significant as well, right? Even if it does close bullish or bearish, doesn't matter. This blue range is what's going to matter here. Or if not that, at least this, you know, the highs and lows. Highs and lows. Always 7 trades for July. A lot of BEs too. Or non-runners. Damn, 57,000 trades online. Everyone hopped off already. Off stream, is your mind still on the charts in the stream? No. It used to be though. I think for like 6 years in. Like it wasn't until like 2025. That's when kind of like after stream it's like I'm not really looking at charts or not. Like every now and then I'll take a look, but not really like hunting, just to see like, oh, how are we gonna close for Asian, you know, and then start anticipating like how Asian closes, which could lead to the NY tomorrow. Like how is that gonna affect NY tomorrow, stuff like that. But not like for positions though, because I think I'm much more like aware of like what I'm hunting for now. and more like confident in what I'm hunting for. So like I just know what areas like I'm not really hunting. So that also helps. But before it was kind of like, even like sitting down for an NY session, right? It's like, oh damn, any 5-minute count could be my entry. It's like, I know for a fact now, like we're not gonna get a position until you break out the blue range, for now at least, until we get more information. So unless something like significant spikes out or something, there's not much I can really add on to what I already have for the day in terms of zones and levels, right? So you just kind of like sit here and chill. But before, I remember it was like more of like, oh man, could this be a fake out? Right? Is this the range? If you get a fake out, hey, could this be a breakout above? Like I would start hunting like any 5-minute candle, any 15 out of nowhere, right? We can go from like chilling right now to 1 hour closure. 1 hour closure opens up, top wick first, flips bearish. All of a sudden we're hunting now for a position. It's like, I think I'm just much more like confident what I'm looking for now, and that just comes with time. So that's why I'm saying like it took me like 6 years to get to a point where when I'm off the charts, like I'm completely off of it, and there's not much I'm really looking for. It's not a bad thing though, like to always be looking at the charts, because like it doesn't mean you can't be profitable like that, right? I was still profitable doing that, but I think in terms of just like understanding your trading better and just being more confident in what you do, like for instance right now I just know like this blue range, like, I don't have much going on. Like even if you spike down like, you know, whatever, like all the way down towards like 39.67, like it's still in that blue range. So it doesn't matter how many pips that moved, or, you know, like I need volume, right? I need like to break out. I need this move to happen to confirm the move that I'm gonna take. But before, I think part of that too was also like not understanding like drive range liquidity, like market cycles. So then you're just always hunting for the same positions in whatever cycles. But now like we're able to figure out like what type of market cycle we're in, it guides you better. I guess that's the part where like you're more confident, because like you know that right now you're in like a small time frame range, higher time frame range as well. So you just know like when you have higher time frame range and small time frame range in the playbook, there's nothing much that you're really looking for until it's something that actually breaks out, which could be liquidity afterwards, right? So it's like confidence, but also just the playbook tells you that. But you know, I built this right off of that. But yeah, like when you have a higher time frame range, small time frame range, like there's nothing much we can really do, right? But part of it is just like developing your playbook. But even like drawdown too, like I'm not too worried about drawdown too much, because part of that is because we have like a stop loss that's based on a strategy. I think before, like, and this is why like I keep preaching, like we're in a pip session. There's nothing different between like, you know, 2,000 pip stops versus 400 pip stops. If you change the lot size, it's the same stops in terms of structure, in terms of ranges. I think the hard part is like going from like, oh man, like 2000 just sounds so ridiculous. Like it doesn't sound ridiculous when you look at the charts for what it is. When you're just free to think however you want to think, like you look at the charts, it's like at what point is structure gonna break, right? Like you'll stay more so above here. This is the 4 hour time frame or daily time frame here. We're just going to 4 and show that in 4, but right, like at what point is structure really broken? Like I'll say more so of this, right? But 2 years ago, you know, up here wouldn't be 2,000 pips. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this would maybe be like 400 pips, 600 pips, right? So it's nothing different. I think a part of it is just maybe like, I don't know, I think when you have like a mindset to think in terms of like big or small, you're not really free to do whatever you want to do in the charts no more. You're not really like set on what you want to take, where you want to take things, because you're now thinking in big or small terms. The same thing for an account size. When you think about an account size from a standpoint where it's big or small, like you're taking trades based on the fact that your account's big or small. That's gonna like kind of block a lot of ideas for your confirmation of your trades, because now you're thinking in terms of like big pips or small pips, big percentage or small percentage today. Instead, just the market's gonna give you whatever that day. It's gonna change on a day-to-day basis, right? So you don't need to like come to the charts and be like, I'm looking to grab something big today, I'm looking to grab something small today. It's kind of just all the same. That's part of that, just being free to think however you want to think. There's no like limit to that, right? But you gotta make those adjustments, obviously, right? With the higher stops, we can't be risking like a fixed lot size like we used to. So there's adjustments to it too as well. But that's it. When I hop in the charts for a day, like I'm trying to determine like, is it drive, range, or liquidity? Those are like the 3 constant cycles, right? And based on whatever cycle that prints, you're looking for X amount of trades. So that really guides you. Compared to you come onto the charts, you don't know what market cycle we're in, and you're looking to take the same trades that you took in Q1 and Q3 right now. And like, there's nothing too different about Q1, Q3 so far, aside from the fact that Q1 was just more of like straight bearish drive, so more of a drive condition, and then now we're in more of a range condition. So can you take the same trades in a drive condition? Can you take the same breakouts? When you're in a range, you're more likely to get fake outs. So you got not take it with precaution, but look at your playbook, or for instance mine, right? And look to see what trades you can take when you are in a range. What do you need to wait for extra? And usually that comes with like range 1, range 2s, and liquidity, right? Because you can trade the range here. This is all range. Range starts here, higher time frame, and that's what we're in, higher time frame range. So we're in a higher time frame range. You can still take liquidity plays. You can still take drive plays, but these are the things that you need to kind of look out for. Range 2 breakout, and then wait for liquidity mostly. But yeah, I know the playbook by heart, right? So I don't always like go back to this and look at it. But if you like, you don't even have to like copy this playbook, chat. You can even just make your own, right? But the idea of this came from just understanding market cycle. Like, understand that there's different cycles throughout the year, and you can't always take the same setups. You can take the same setups, but not during that cycle every time, because the cycle changes. But yeah, I'm still waiting too. Like I think when we came back in March, I was like, I think this year is starting out pretty slow and it could pick up. It still hasn't picked up yet, right? No, I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm looking to break out of this or something. This is good though. You're actually breaking the lows now, so this could lead to some movement. Either continuations down. You have a leg count down here too, but it could lead to something. Our ideas are still the same though. Wick entry sells at 40.73 or continuation sells below 39.39. So we're in the middle. And that's not the funnest part, but 670 away from the highs, and then about 640 away from the lows. Do you look at higher times to get a bias of selling or buying? Yeah, all the time. Like today, if you watch my analysis today, I start off with the daily. And a little bit of the monthly, or weekly, but more so the daily. And then you just kind of work your way down. But I don't have like a bias though, like in terms of bullish or bearish. I just, whatever the bias the market is. The market's coming down bearish, the market's going up and bullish, so it's just whatever the market throws. But I don't have like a set bias, like pre looking at the charts or like pre anticipating the move. I have a bias for right now. Like if we're coming down now, I'm bearish. but I wouldn't say like I don't come onto the charts thinking like, oh, the markets are gonna go up from here. If it goes up, then great. I'll look for that wick entry sell. So, right, so I'm not trying to guess that move next. I'm just trying to take what the market is like currently throwing. Damn, bro, you got hit bit by a wasp again. Bro. How? Crazy gold bomb. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I want volume, man. If this can drop down now 400. Another leg candle on the third though. 1 hour close. How did it close? Like leg candle as well. Small leg candles. So yeah. Breaking the lows, any volume would be nice. Something though. The Wogman. Hold on, chat. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Why you train a small account? I wanted to start the account off with 1,000, and that's what we did, and then just kind of grow that on stream all the way to wherever. But I think to mainly also show that, like, you don't need to like start with $1,000. You don't need to like flip it. You can just kind of trade like as you normally would trade any other account. You don't need to like flip it until like 10k or like 15k, and then after flipping it, you can actually like, you know, start getting a little sweaty and then start trying, quote unquote trying. But you can just kind of like start the account off from whatever balance, 1,000, 100k, whatever balance you want. But like, you don't need to like get to a certain number before like building it. Because one of the common things that I got when we were shown like the bigger balance was like, it's so easy to do what you do done, because you don't need to catch much in order to you don't need to catch much pips in order to make profit. And it's like same goes for $1,000 account now, right? Like we're catching like roughly, I'll say a little more now, but mainly because conditions have changed. But it's around the same pips wise. From what we were doing before. Like we weren't like, we're not going from like scalping a swing, you know what I mean? But yeah, one of the main things I kept getting was like, yo, it's so easy to trade down. It's like, no, if anything, man, it's gonna be the same on a small account. It's just percentages at the end of the day that you're looking at. Balance size makes no sense. My skills haven't been required. Yeah, the only other reason I'll show a balance is to like prove something, but I think I'm over the showing balance to prove something point, because it didn't lead to anything. It just led to more weirdos. Just more pocket watchers, right? And they're just missing the point. the true value. When do you plan to increase your lot size? I think 3K. 3K will increase it from a 0.14 to maybe 0.16. I haven't decided yet, but 3K when we hit that. I was looking at this earlier, like I forgot we actually made 2,600 because we deposited 1,000, 123.80, and we withdrew 900. So we profited this account is the entire balance because we just kept withdrawing, right? So we're literally about to be break even, like break even. Like anything on this account is literally like risk free. It's all made up money now at this point. None of it is no longer real. But yeah, literally about to be BE. So if you start this account with me last year in April, chat, and you copied every single trade, I think mainly DVSO one, because I think I came back to YouTube in March, right? But you'll be risk free right now, like literally no like risk at all. Apply for Stream University. We're gonna do DVSU. Remember DVSU? DVS University. Trading University. That ass though. If I was on Twitch, shit, down overseas. I didn't know it was only 4 days though. Did you miss anything? No. Hey, draw blue box. It's on MetaTrader. You see this tool right here, rectangle. You can't just draw it on, and then you can change the colors and all that properties and just change it. These are my colors and style, I guess. That's pretty much it. It's just for me to reference. You can draw like anything, any color. I don't do one trading view though. I only do it on MetaTrader. I have the same zones. Let's see. Spreads are invisible here, so it should start moving here, chat. Lecandle approaching. What's a good lot size for a 1K account to follow you in DVS 01? Oh, for me, when I started a 1K account, it was a fixed lot, 0.8. And then as time went on, I had to basically adjust because stops got much wider over the years. So now, like, even on this account, we're using a 0.5, 0.5, 0.3, 0.7, 0.5, 0.1. I think for DVSO 1 though, if you're gonna follow, you need a balance much bigger than a 1K balance. So you need like I think minimum 2K to make back the monthly fee every month. So 1K account, you're not gonna make back BE. With the rest, this just won't happen. But 2K account, 3K account, you'll be in blues. Unless you over leverage it, but I wouldn't suggest that. Is this the body reaction zone? Yeah, right on the 4. Around here. Let's see. The minute looks terrible though, still. Nothing crazy picking up yet. And that can happen on the way down too. The only thing that's nice here, chat, is the invisible candle. Like this right here, when you block this out, like this shouldn't be no struggle really to break. But regardless if it's an invisible candle or not, that structure, if you were to come up first and then shift back into the range, would be a lot better. But still, regardless if this is an invisible candle or not, it doesn't really amplify the or give you the higher probability that this is gonna, or no information is telling you a higher probability that this will continue to drive, right? Like, it could drive, but you still need that lower high to confirm. Otherwise, it could still also be higher lows, higher lows, higher lows too. So if not the break outside the blue range, like I want to see at least this. Like that would be nice too. If you can like come up towards like 40-30 again, 40-40, and then shift back down with structure. That's the only way I can really get in on this range. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for this to break out. You're using a 0.1 now. I think I'm going to 0.2. Z, could this be re-breaking on lows once again? So yeah, something picking up would be nice. What time is it? 10:20. Third minute closure in 8 minutes. 15 closure in about 8. A 4-hour candle, leg candle fill. You also already got, I think you already got a 4 leg candle body reaction for the bearish one too. So if it comes back up again, that can get filled as well. Damn. Let's see, 1 hour flips there. Will it re-flip bullish? Let's see, chat. Still no movement like throughout the day. Last time you had movement today was maybe 7:45, 8, like right before we came on. So let's see. I'll give it maybe until 10:45, and if it doesn't move by 10:45, then we'll call it. But you just broke out this range, right? So anything back into it could be a fake out. Anything continuing down now could be a lower high to continue down. So it's gone better since we hopped on. It's just there still hasn't been that move of the session yet. So I'll give it till 10:45, and then we'll see if that is just still in the range or not. And then yeah, we'll call it then. I'll grab some water, chat. BRB. Leg candle on the 30-minute leg candle closure. What's up, man? My weekend was good. Chill. Chill weekend. I mean, there was a World Cup on. And I'm pretty chill weekend. Pretty chill, pretty chill. cocoa. I'm drinking water in this mug right now. Bro, how do you want hot cocoa? Like, Chad, I feel like looking at trading gold right now is like opening the fridge, hoping that there's something new each time. It's like each time I'm just flipping the time frames, I'm like hoping that something is happening. You just hope something just suddenly appears. So you guys tired of this music yet? You guys tired of the playlist yet? Or still good?
Strangely.
Wait, 10,000 pesos this song? I said this is the same one as earlier. A little different. Same melody though. Might as well just take a steak deal and start spinning while we're waiting for gold. Gamba. Gamba, gamba. That's why I don't tell anyone what I do. Damn. English. English, please, English. Polish. What's up, new here? Currently in trader, waiting. I'm waiting for this blue range to break out. So we're kind of still stuck in it. So yeah, I'm only gonna be here. I said 10:45. We'll see if the Vaughn picks up, but it's looking like a pretty dry day. So this might be it. We'll see. Another 3 minutes. We'll see where things are at. Damn, I thought I saw Talon for a second. I was like, Talon? Is that you? Still trading after 11. We'll see. Maybe. Depends. It's like I'm thinking like if the last movement we had to was 8, usually like 2-hour break period before you pick up again. It's around that time. It's been almost 3 hours then. 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So it should be like at this moment where you do pick up. But yeah, we'll see. Worst case, Steve is the one. We'll be on for a little bit if it does pick up. But I think when it comes to the setups chat, I'm looking for the same thing we mentioned this morning during the morning analysis. Just waiting for this to break out so that we can get wick entry sells, which is at 40.73, or we could also get continuation down below 39.39, unless you come up and then you start shifting back into the range, and then we can also look for this too in the yellow zone cells, but that's going to require a breakout of the blue range anyways, right? So anything breaking a blue range will be volume for me, not like a move volume or a move. But yeah, we're just kind of stuck here. Pretty boring Monday though. No news for the rest of the week too. What's up, Reggie? Don't worry, bro. You fell asleep on a good day. Are you looking for longs or short here? I am looking to break outside this blue range. I have no positions or any ideas of positions in the blue range until we break out. The breakout outside the blue range will lead to more information, so then I'll figure out if we're gonna look for sells or buys. Or no, we're not looking for buys until 4,200. So my idea will be buys, yeah, up there, but not until 4,200, until above here. That's when you can start breaking a high time frame structure. And it'll also be a 1-2 correction of that range down on the 4 since then, since the beginning of the month basically. But outside that blue range that I got right there is going to be wick entry sells at 40.73. From wick entry sells from there, probably look to target like somewhere here, you know, like 106 bit range, depending on where the next minus support and resistance is. But we're not there yet, right? So I gotta see if it actually does come up. If it comes up towards 73, or if it just breaks outside the blue range and then dips back into the areas. We can also look for continuation sells. If it does do this, where it breaks out first and hops back on the other end, but I would need some structure here, and then I'm guessing sells will be more so below 39.79. If it does not break outside that blue range first before coming down, and it just comes down, which is a possibility, then we'll look for continuation below 39.39. So I think pretty straightforward day, or in terms of my analysis from the morning, it hasn't changed. So if you want to watch the full analysis that I didn't say it was a pretty long one. It was like a 20-minute analysis. Go back to 8 a.m. on the morning streams, and then whatever I marked up then is still what I'm looking for now. And so nothing much has changed because we haven't gotten any extra information today from price, right? Even when you did break the lows there at 4,000, again, nothing significant really that happened. I'm new to trend to this seems like a lot of patience. Not today's a little different. Today's like really slow. Not all days are like this though. Some days we hop on and we get a trade immediately. It just depends on where we're at with the charts, right? It does require patience for sure, but you get used to it, because like, I mean, it's not like a job where like you hop on for the session, you clock in, and then you get paid by the minute, right? Sometimes you sit there for the whole session and you're not really gonna get paid. Sometimes you might hop on and pay the markets, really, right? You can take a loss and pay the market. So yeah, like it's one of those things where you do get paid to wait, and you're just waiting for your setups to form. Dude. I've noticed learning markets where there can be numerous fair value gaps. I don't trade FVGs, so I don't know. Whatever I do on my screen is all I do. I don't trade FVGs or it's just a form of resistance. I use market structure. I candle reading. But candle reading is just market structure and candle form, right? And then numerous time frames from the minute all the way into the monthly. But yeah, same goals. You can pick anything and stay the same. Like there's lots of like, there's lots of fib levels, 38.6, 50% retracement, 70% retracement, or 61.8 retracement. How do you know which one? That's kind of where you want to use multiple time frames to understand what's going on. Because we can also say today, like there's nice structure going up on the 30 minute here. There's like higher lows that are forming, and you probably think, oh yeah, if there's higher lows forming, it should be bullish, right? But how do you know if it's bullish or not? You go on the 4 hour time frame, you zoom out, and this thing is still coming down. And if you zoom out even more, you're also still bearish, right? Like if you just trace price here, you can see this is kind of where we're at in terms of structure. Right? So this thing is still coming down bearish. So then you can say this stuff, well, buys are great, right? Because we're at support at the same time. Who knows? This thing could just continue coming down with the trend, with like the overall bearish trend, right? It's the same thing when you say like for instance, like this thing can still come down falling structure, right? But now what happens if you start to break structure? At what point are you even going to break that structure? Like I'll say more so of like here, and then you have some more resistance here, right? So if price starts to break above here, is that going to be bullish now? Not quite, because this can still be lower highs off of these areas, right? That's still holding. What if now it decides to break up like this? Is that now bullish? Not quite. I'll say you still got to break this, but what if you get a pullback? Right? Because that move down now could lead to continuation down with the overall trend, right? But now instead it decides to re-break the highs. Oh wow, you're actually shifting in structure now, right? There's some higher lows, and eventually your higher time frame buys could be above here, right? Which in this case is more so above 4,300 in this case, right? If there's structure, then above 4,200, but like anything breaking above these zones could still take you down with the overall trend. So it's like you gotta utilize all the different time frames. Obviously, you don't gotta go to that extreme. Like, I know today we're looking at just this range right now. This is our focus today, but same goes for today. It's like, in terms of bearishness, right? Like, even though like this is creating some higher lows, at what point is this going to be bearish? At what point can we actually have confirmation for sells? In this blue range, you might not get any confirmation for sells at all. We might just have to sit out this entire blue range, right? So the same goes when you're waiting for your FVGs or whatever your strategy you're looking for, right? Like, sometimes it doesn't always lead to a position. Like, this is a big range, right? It's like maybe 800 inch bit range. It doesn't always lead to a position, but then that's when you want to start planning out what will lead to positions, right? At what point is it going to be valid for you to take positions? So then today for me, I had a breakout blue range. First breakout, if it's one consistent move up, wick entry sells at 47.3. I have that idea. What if it doesn't come up towards there? Because it doesn't need to, right? Nothing is needed to happen. If it breaks the blue range and then it's just back into the range here like this, create structure, I can look for sells below here. Because like, what was the point of breaking the highs then, right? You came back into the range. Could this still be a higher low to come up? For sure. So that's why you apply that extra confirmation of structure. You want to wait for that lower high to form, and then as you continue to re-break the lows, that's your continuation down here, right? And that's when you want to look for your sells. Now, what if it doesn't come up first? It doesn't need to come up first at all. It might just start coming down here from where we are, and that's fine. If it does do that, is that bearish? Sure, but will anything confirm? Will anything confirm your positions and ideas? All right, we don't know yet because it hasn't happened yet. We gotta see on the small time from what happens. But let's say it does, I'll probably want to wait for price to break below 39.39, right? If it comes down towards 39.39, that's a pretty heavy zone on the daily, right? Heavy zone on the daily could be a reaction area. I'll wait for that to react. I'll wait for that to pull back. As it creates more structure, eventually I'll look for sells below. And that's kind of what you do. Like, you kind of just, like, you don't always have positions though. Like, you don't just hop on and magically something appears all the time, right? Some days, sure, but a lot of times, like today, for example, it's just one big, massive, like, any movement in this range here isn't gonna signify anything. It's not gonna give much information on what's gonna happen. So some days it's just really boring like this. Overall, we are bearish. I mean, we look for shorts, and then no, because it can break structure. Like, I'll say for me, it's above 4,200 today, or the last 2 weeks. Really, same zone for the buy areas. I'm waiting for that to break before I look for buys. So once it actually breaks 4,200 and it's able to hold that structure, I'll start looking for buy ideas. But again, that's pretty far, right? That's like 2,000 pips. So you need some significant volume. And if this is a range, could it be a potential that you break the lows down towards 3,800 or whatever, and then start shifting back into the range for a fake out to then come up? Because this move now has been pretty slow, so this move could likely get corrected at some point. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know if it's going to be now or before the move down or after the move down, right? But if this is a situation, this is nice, because then we can look for buys ahead of 4,200. If it comes down towards 3,800 first, we can look for buys instead of above 4,200. We can look for buys above here instead, because that's like your breaker structure. So I just like follow like whatever the market's trending in. But in this area, there's nothing really happening. With the pullback, say it doesn't pull back and it carries on going lower, would you even enter with a short, or would you wait even longer? Yeah, so below 39.39, like, that's what I have right now. If it breaks below 39.39, I'm looking for shorts below there. But I need a pullback. And it's very key how you come down too, because this is quite a bit. Like, this is like a 600 pip move, right? So like, it's not about the zone, it's about how it's coming down. Whether this move down comes down within one consistent movement, or if there's like pullbacks coming down. If there's structure coming down, then we can even get below here instead, right? But it just depends on how it comes down as well. Like right now, where things are, we don't know how it's coming down because it's not coming down, right? So like by default, we have that original idea at below 39.39. You want to see it come down below there, pull back and hold to continue. But yeah, like that matters. Like the way it comes down, like the things that happen between matters more. It's like if you have an FVG zone, like how is it coming up towards the FVG zone or coming down towards the FVG zone? That part is a part where people just overlook. That's gonna tell you a lot of the smaller details within the trade, right? Like how's the structure looking, what's happening before the move down. But yeah, if you look at it from this perspective, it's like nothing really. Like last time you spent a lot of time in this range as well, right? In like June, end of June, same thing. Still tradable though, right? I think this range here, we've gone like quite a bit of trades in the past, you know, along these areas. It's tradable. It's just today, really nothing happened, at least yet. What's up, Daniel? This year's been very slow. This year, yeah, a little bit. This is not consistent, you know. I think part of it is because you drove me last year. Who knows? We still got majority of quarter 3. We got like 2 months left in this quarter 3, and then quarter 4. So we'll see. I think last year we've had more trades in quarter 3. Last year, our trades, a lot happened in quarter 1 and quarter 2. Quarter 3 and quarter 4, we had the least trades last year. But this year as well, I think less than last year. A lot less trades. Yeah, just not as consistent in price. Pips wise though, it's there for sure. But the amount of trades is not. Should I take a buy now? Whatever's in your playbook. If your playbook, yeah, ideas for buys, take your positions. I got nothing in this blue range. Like I literally don't have any association in terms of ideas in this blue range. Pretty simple, you know. I'm waiting for volume, so I need something to break out in order to give me something in the blue range. Otherwise, this range here, there's nothing like I got going on in here. Just blanks. So wicked. But yeah, as I was saying, like if you have positions, right? Like if you have ideas, this is my idea. My blue range between here and here, I got nothing. I'm waiting for information to be printed outside or within. And today nothing has happened yet. But that doesn't mean someone else's playbook doesn't have ideas. Right? So if your playbook, you got ideas here, by all means take your positions. But make sure, you know, you're actually following your playbook. Or if you're asking me, I got nothing. Chat, it's 11 here. Might be a day soon, right? Let's see. 1 hour close. Week bearish, week bullish. Nothing crazy. Nothing different. Honestly, it might be it, chat. That might be the session, man. I think worst case, if there's anything, I'll call it in the DVSL1 group, but I don't know. The last time we had moved to the chat was 8 a.m. So I would have assumed that maybe between 10 and 11. we'll get some more volume. They only broke out maybe like 950, 10. So maybe there's still potential for 11, 12. But if there is, I'll call it in the channel. I'll see you guys in there. But I think that's it for the session, chat. And you know, nothing really happened today. Pretty boring session. Shit. Just, we literally hopped on right here at like around 40.14 when the price was around there, and we got off 60 pip difference. Like this entire session moved like 170 between, so nothing crazy. But hey, it's only a Monday. We still got the rest of the week, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, chat. Have a good session, everybody. If you guys are still trading, don't force entries. Be patient, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right. Peace, 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 peace.